You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 10th meeting for the Michiana Shores Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Okay, I will call the meeting to order. It is now, I believe, 7 o'clock already, just about, So let's begin the meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay? Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Joan, please do the roll for us.
Sure. President Dinah Dumfries.
Present?
Samantha Arnold, she's going to be absent.
Yes.
Ralph Box.
Present.
Sam Paxton. Rich Young, it looks like he's going to be absent too. I'm here. And Attorney Brad Adamski.
Present.
Fire Chief Gary Bendix, he's absent. Police Chief Mark Swistek.
Present.
Here. Park Board President Jean Paxton.
She's going to be absent.
BZA President Matt is absent. And Building Commissioner Code Enforcement Brian Alexander.
Present.
And Flood Administrator Andrew Bertocchini.
Bertocchini?
Is he absent?
Absent.
Plan Commission President Isaac Zeckel.
Absent.
Sounds like we got more absent than we do present. Road Commissioner Bob Sokowski. Okay, guess that does it.
Thank you, Joan. Everyone received the proposed meeting agenda. I did add, the meeting minutes that were presented to us, but I did not add any of the vouchers because those came later after I had sent this out. So we have a list of those vouchers, and let's see what we've got. At least please make an addition or correction if as I go through them. March 11th, 2025.
We're going to have that one tonight.
Pardon? Yes, we will, but I want to add these to the agenda.
Oh, you want to.
Okay, I want to add them to the agenda, okay? Because I did not have them. This would go underneath this. So
March 11th, we're not going to have tonight.
we are not going to have, okay.
Nope.
Not tonight, okay, thank you. So then we will have April 8th vouchers. After that, I have April 25th additional vouchers.
The 25th or 2025?
Oh, April 2025, I'm sorry, additional vouchers, you're correct. April 30th payroll taxes. May 13th vouchers. May 31st payroll taxes. June 10th vouchers. This is all I have. Is there something that I'm missing from those that I read?
I can't pull up a list.
Okay, all right. Okay. Joan, does that sound like it's everything we're going to be looking at?
Maybe a little bit more than that.
Okay, so there will be an additional, I have 1,
Well,
2, 3, 4,
You don't have any of the payroll ones.
5.
because
There's
I
one
do
that
not-
says payroll. Well, I thought it was no.
Oh, if I did, that was by accident.
Payroll taxes,
Because I
yes.
don't want them on the
Okay.
internet.
All right, I guess we will list those as they come along, but there are vouchers. Okay, thank you. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Anybody else?
The only comment I would make is there's no specific date for this BZA meeting.
Okay, I was not sure, maybe Brian knows when the next one will take place. Do you know, Brian? The next BZA meeting,
I think it's the 4th.
July 24th? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ralph.
It's a schedule that was on, I believe it's on that schedule they circulated at the beginning of the year.
Okay, and then in addition, we can actually add that there's going to be the art auction on July 5th, held by our park boosters. So that everybody would know, July 5th at the Dunes Theater.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with those edits.
Okay, thank you. I need a second.
Second.
All right, so Ralph has moved to adopt the agenda with the additions and corrections, and Sam has seconded. All in favor indicate by aye. Aye. Okay, thank you. The minutes, let's move on to approving the minutes of the May 13th meeting. Has anybody, obviously everybody had read it because there were some comments made with regards to the
Right,
minutes.
and those were changed.
Okay, you were able to address those?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Any other additions or corrections to that? Okay, then I would ask for a motion to approve the May 13th minutes with the corrections Joan made with regards to removing the discussions on leaves. Correct?
That's correct.
What you read?
Yeah, you want to see them?
Yeah. Just pass that one around. Okay, here we go. But you have enough? Okay. Ooh, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
If you get one, it's by
They're looking
accident
at one.
because the changes were made.
okay. Samantha had sent a comment about the IoT email.
That was changed
Okay.
to, I'm thinking of getting a system that records and also prints the meetings verbatim, and you guys want, whatever you want changed, that will help the system.
Okay, there were 2 copies stuck in here of this thing, so. Take the full one off and keep the other one. Same minutes. Here we go. All right. Any other, or are you still checking?
It's okay. Proceed.
All right, well then in that case, I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the May 13th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of May 13, 2025 meeting
Okay,
as edited.
okay,
I'll second that.
okay, Ralph Fox. Okay, Sam Paxton moved, Ralph Fox seconded to approve the minutes of the May 13th meeting with the corrections that had been suggested earlier via email. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Approving the meeting minutes of April 22nd, 2025.
The April 22nd is the only one we have tonight. 24th one, Samantha Arnold signed that. It was approved and signed at the May meeting.
Okay. I thought that we still had to do that one as well, okay?
No, this is
All right, well then, we
22nd,
should
the
have,
one
okay,
that had the
okay,
public hearing.
yes, okay.
And as I stated, I don't remember any voting being taken on the ordinance at that meeting and not having a recording. So there's nothing in there stating
Stating what?
that there was a voting on the ordinance, the appropriation for,
I know that we voted on the appropriations. We had,
That was
as
the
a matter of
purpose of the
fact,
meeting.
yeah, that was a purpose of the meeting. So, okay, if we have a question here, we can go back. I will check the notes that I write on my email.
that's why I sent you the email telling you that. I thought maybe somebody had it before the meeting tonight.
I did not see an email that addressed that, but if there is, I will go back and look at it, okay?
Okay,
All right. In that case, approving the minutes of the April 22nd meeting.
And that was the meeting specifically for,
That, the 22nd was the minutes, the 24th was, I thought, no.
No.
The 22nd was the appropriations, the 24th was the bids for the,
CCG.
for the CCMG, okay?
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the April 22nd meeting.
Okay, I think all we needed to do was make some corrections on, some missing names and information, okay? Ralph Box moves to approve. I need a second.
So that was where we changed made it more clear what the actual charges were for.
The title.
Yes, yes. Okay,
For the public meeting for additional appropriation ordinance 202502 for truck purchase, down payment and one payment plus insurance and debt service. I don't know what else was involved in it.
no, that was it, I think, that was all. Okay, so Ralph Box has moved to approve those, I need a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Sam Paxton seconds, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, those have been approved. And,
Did you vote, Rich? Okay, so you'd have 5 ayes,
4.
4 ayes, that's right. We have 2 absents on the first.
Okay. Let's move on then to the reports of committees, officers, and the clerk treasurer. We have our invoices from Joan, so please.
I'll give that so you can sign it too. As I stated, the March 11th vouchers, which showed up on the May 13th, I have no idea what the computer was doing. It's got its own intelligent now. So that has to be run through the programmers. I do have vouchers for April the 8th.
Whoops, wait. Are we moving on from March 11th?
We're not doing anything on March 11th and
Can we
May.
go in order of,
Pardon?
are we going in the order of the dates?
No, we're not. We're going in the order that Joan has them. I started to put them in order and then they got all.
Can we follow the calendar and go through March completely and then move to April?
No, let's just go through what I have. The first one I have is for April the 8th vouchers. And I double checked those according to my reporting. And that is for $57,060.49.
Are there any questions or comments? Sam?
I just had a
Rich.
question as to why we're going to April when we can go to March. We should be doing March.
I think.
I don't have anything for March because that's the one that got
Send us
mixed
2
up.
files for March.
Right, I'm telling you tonight, I don't have them because of your comments that you've made to me.
Okay, so,
about March 11th and the May 13th.
okay, so the March 11th then is going to be tabled until the next meeting.
Well, I didn't have any problems with the March 11th vouchers. It was the additional file that was attached that was March 11th vouchers _1. It was like an additional
There were 2
copy
different
of
kinds.
it. But the March 11th vouchers looked fine to me. It's just there was an additional copy.
Right.
The second version has the dates, the date file starting in May 7th. There's one from April 25th. If you go to the original March 11th, 2025 vouchers. They're all dated through 7/25.
They're all dated through
The
7/25.
dates on here, on the summary, we do what they call a voucher batch. And anything that we do from, say, before June 10th, anything before that will show up on it. And
So-
if there's a check that was written separately, it will show up on it also.
But they're all the same transactions on both files. They're
On
exact.
that same files, right, but what was the problem with it?
Well, look at the two files. The first
I don't
file
have the two
has
files.
all
I
the
only
date
have the
filed
last one I sent
correctly
you.
in March.
The one
second-
I have has $18,834.96 for the March 11th. If that's satisfactory to you, you can vote on it. If it's not, I will get back with Keystone and find out about
Do you have
Cranberry.
copies of both of them, the
I
01?
don't know physical
I
copies.
just
No,
have
but you
the one
do
that
have it
says
online,
March
right?
11th on it.
I can have it on my phone, yes.
Actually, I stand corrected. Both of the March 11th voucher files are exactly the same. They're both
Okay.
Yeah, so
March
we can vote on the first file and just ignore the second file.
All right,
Is what
that
I-
makes sense to me, yeah. Okay. Joan, you do have that sheet with you?
I got them, yes.
Okay, all right. So we do not need to table the March 11th, 2025 vouchers. We can go ahead with the document that came first, the one that is less the -01 or -1. Any questions on these vouchers?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the March 11th, 2025 vouchers.
Second.
All right, Ralph Box moved, Sam Paxton seconded. Vouchers for March 11th, 2025. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Nice, and these vouchers for March 11th have been approved.
Done.
All right. According to what I have, it says April 8th, 2025 vouchers.
Well, there is a March additional appropriation
Oh,
vouchers.
okay, how come I obviously missed that one? Okay,
That's the file that I was referring to in the article before. That has dates of May 7th, May 9th, and so forth.
That's the one I don't even have with me. I didn't even bring it out.
So these are not.
That, no,
These are not legitimate chart,
They're legitimate charges,
but it's
but
not been,
not that particular date, the way you want them by a particular date. I have to get back with
Yeah, that's the
Keystone.
March 31st.
okay, so March 31st, additional vouchers, we're going,
That's why it's,
oh, is that the one that's the same as the,
yeah, there's no total in that. Just
Say May 13th.
it's not paid for.
Okay, never mind. I don't want to get into confusion. Make it any worse.
So at some point, we'll have additional vouchers for March to review. Joan?
Pardon?
So at some point, we'll have a file of additional vouchers from March to review.
All of March.
okay,
The one I have right now is April the 8th.
okay.
And that has $57,060.49. And you don't want me to read it, right?
No, we don't want
Maybe
you to read it.
the general public might want to know what we're spending money on.
Speak up. All right, are we working on April 8th vouchers now?
Correct.
All right. Any questions on the vouchers?
And that picked up some of the March, end of March.
I don't have any questions.
I don't,
Okay, everything looked in order, so I need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the April 8, 2025 vouchers as stated.
I'll second that.
All right, Sam moved, Ralph seconded the approval of the April 8th, 2025
Oh.
vouchers.
I apologize. I have a question. Was the figure that we paid signature lawns, $34,820, $820, is that accurate? And is that the final payment for last year?
That is not the final payment. That's the first payment because I didn't have the signed contract. And there's another payment in there, if you keep looking, I can't remember what date it was, that I got hold of Jason, and we worked it out for the additional payment of several $100s.
Has that been paid?
It's been paid, but I can't remember what day it was paid, but it's in here.
Okay.
Question regarding
Didn't have a contract.
All the bills have been paid.
All right, thank you. All right, so are we going back? Sam, move to approve.
Well, I think for the record, this was not a new contract. This was just an change in the billing
Okay.
for additional years of the contract.
All right,
So we
so-
did in fact have the contract in-house.
Yeah,
We do have a contract
yeah.
for it.
Okay, so let's just make note, do you want to make a note on that we have, Sam, did you say you wanted to make a note of that on the voucher sheet?
I don't remember, without having a computer handy, I can't tell you the exact date I paid it, but it's within here, within all these that I gave you, so if you want to
Okay.
peruse them, you'll find it.
Okay.
All right.
It was only
Are you
a
okay?
month or so
All right.
afterwards.
Okay, so Sam moved, Ralph seconded, all in favor of approving the April 8th vouchers, indicate by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Okay.
There's that.
What was this?
That's the April 8th, the one they just
April 8th, all right, thank you. All right, let's move on.
So the April 30th additional vouchers,
Okay,
that's an amount of $1,841.85.
any questions? Or comments on these?
No.
All right, Dawn, you okay with that, Rich?
Yeah,
Okay, then I need a motion to approve.
almost.
Okay, Rich Young, move to approve, I need a second.
Second.
Okay, Sam Paxton seconds the approval of the April 2025 additional vouchers. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 4 ayes, these vouchers have been approved.
It's April 30th.
Okay,
And then the other voucher that I have for summary is for June 10th.
but we have, wait, hold on a minute, we have the April payroll taxes.
That's all separate. I'm doing vouchers.
May 13th vouchers, we're doing those.
May 13th vouchers, the ones that have to be redone because they have some of the April additionals on them. It's picked up,
Okay, so
Things
May
that-
has to be redone, all right?
yeah.
All right, I'm setting those aside.
Aye.
Okay, then we have,
I have May 30th payroll taxes, is that next?
no, we're not on
You're
that.
gonna hold off on it, okay, until later?
Well,
June 10th vouchers,
right, we have June 10th vouchers. Maybe once we get all these caught up, it won't be as difficult to try and present them. And on June 10th, voucher amount is $23,197.86.
Can Can you repeat that total, Jim?
What?
Can you repeat the total for me?
$23,197.86.
Thanks.
All right, any questions from anyone on these?
No.
Okay, if there are no other questions, corrections, then I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the June 10th vouchers.
All right, Ralph Box has moved, I need a second.
Second.
Sam Paxton seconds, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, 4 ayes, these vouchers have been approved for the payments, okay.
There's also a sheet. It looks like we can approve the May additional vouchers.
Where are the May additional vouchers?
They're there somewhere.
Yeah, she gave us May additional
May
vouchers.
May 2025, they're listed as additional vouchers.
Okay, I don't have a copy of that, maybe the others do. May additional vouchers?
Well, the issue I had with
$1,311.64. It's a small one. The Chase Card Services, a certificate
The file I have,
for mowing the park, and Friedman Associates for legal services in NIPSCO.
Were you saying something, Sam?
you have this file, May additional vouchers, Ralph? I'm looking at it right now, and it says April 2025.
You don't have May?
yeah, the file name is May 2025 additional vouchers, but the title of the file is the April 2025 additional voucher.
No, that's not right. I looked
And
at
the total doesn't add up. The total on this file,
which file?
the one that was sent, 1841.85.
Well, I'm going to be sending around the one that, if you didn't receive this one, I don't know why you didn't.
So we approved 4 of the 7.
March 11th, April 8th, April additional vouchers, May 13th vouchers.
No.
No,
June
we're not
10th.
doing May 13th.
All right, May 13th, we're not doing.
No, that's
That
the
one
one
has to be
that
redone.
has
I'm
to be-
So
sorry.
what I would request is the 3 that are outstanding is let's isolate those and,
Which ones are you talking about being outstanding?
well, you sent us 10, 3 of which were duplicates, so there's 7 that we need to approve. We approved 4, so there's 3 left that need to be approved. But what I'd like for you to do is to verify those, resend those to us separately. Let's not wait until the end of next month and then it's piled in with the rest of this. Now, we won't vote on them till next month, but we need to get them ahead of time and agree that's what we're looking at. And then it'll be just a formality to approve them.
Okay, that sounds, that way you already know what it is you're working on now, and you may be easy to do right now. I mean, not tonight, but,
The May
the next time.
13th and the March 31st ones is
May 13th,
March 31st.
March 31st,
And what's the other one?
Would it be the May additional vouchers? I'm just guessing, I don't have.
No, I don't think it's May additional, because I'm looking at the May additional
the May
right
13th
now.
vouchers need to be redone, is what
I
you
got
said.
May 13th
May
and the March
13th.
31st, because they were run
Okay.
together some way or another.
All right.
Computers are fun. Okay, the one I'm talking about right now is the May 2025 additional voucher title, and that had $1,311.64, and you said you didn't get it?
Nope.
No.
What we got was the April, basically a copy of the April 2025 vouchers, labeled as May additional vouchers.
Well, I don't know how that happened, but. Do you not want to approve this one tonight? May 2025?
You have them too.
Look at them manually and
Yeah,
for you.
Yeah, if you pass it around, it's okay, we'll
Yeah.
approve it.
just like, here's one, here it is. Oops. Okay, here we go.
And as far as the December 31st payroll taxes that you were interested in last month
So this
meeting,
it's,
they were signed on, approved and signed on January 14th.
yeah, I've got
I don't know if you checked it out or not.
the May 20 application. So it must be two copies of the same thing.
Payroll taxes, right? Is that, Joan, what you said?
Yeah, the payroll taxes for December, but you,
Yeah, these are.
council was questioning it, and I didn't have an answer.
Okay, all right,
She already received.
But they already approved it in January.
okay.
Anyway,
Are they all the same?
so, yeah, I'm not gonna sign it.
On the March 31st payroll,
Which one did we say?
I haven't signed it.
March 31st payroll?
I have that you passed it last month.
Those are. Those are needed.
I redid it because we need signatures. So I put the June 10th date as far as it being signed.
We didn't have that form
That's good.
signed on that signature.
I don't know what happened. I don't have a copy of it signed. They were left here.
Okay, I passed back, I took out everything that was left.
Yeah, so.
Okay,
But it says, I've got a note on here that Ralph Box made a motion, Sam Paxton seconded, and there was 4 ayes, and this was from last month's meeting.
okay.
But I needed signatures on it.
Okay, all right, so these are signatures, we need signatures, and this is from
It really should have,
the March 31st payroll. Gentlemen, we voted on these last time, but we did not get signatures.
I don't know.
how the papers got mixed up last week. This is for the March 31st payroll.
Okay,
Okay, and these were, we did vote on those, but we need signatures, so that's another document to sign.
and the next one I have is April 25th payroll taxes. We pay them in April, but they're for the March payroll.
Okay,
And that is in the amount of
Yeah, this is-
$2,028.86.
okay, that's, very straightforward. I don't think there's any questions on the payroll taxes. Any comments? This is the
No.
one that's marked April 30, 2025 payroll taxes. They are for the March payroll that was made.
That's correct.
Any questions?
All the payroll taxes are a month after the payroll. And you don't have copies of those. I don't send them out.
So this is an estimate.
Any questions on the March payroll taxes, John? Because I need a motion then to approve. Mark-
So
Is-
Joan does not send those to us,
No, you're right.
so we haven't seen them in any form.
I got a copy. I don't know how somebody else did. I got a copy.
Just trust me.
If you'd like to take
Much I can do with it.
So what was the final number then?
Final number was $2,028.86.
Okay.
And I can read you the
Well,
notice.
That's
that
fine.
sounds reasonable.
That's reasonable on those.
Okay.
Jives with the past, so I'll make a motion to approve the
Okay,
payroll taxes.
this is for the, they're actually for March, but paid.
Right, there.
Okay.
April is paid in March.
Yes, okay, so I need a second on this.
Second.
Is that you, Sam?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay, and these vouchers have been approved. And then you have one more set of vouchers or payroll
Yes, I
taxes?
do. I have a total payroll.
Oh,
Total payroll for May 31st, for the month of May, $1,709.55.
1,700?
And $9.55. That's
Okay.
everything transferring over from payroll to
Okay, right,
financials,
all right. Payroll,
so we can pay.
okay. Any questions on that?
We have a file, May 31st, 2025 payroll taxes.
Yes, you do. You got it by accident.
$163.50. 57.
163 what?
163.57.
Yeah, I don't know how you got that.
You sent it to us.
Yeah.
Got that,
obviously
well, I
that's
did by accident. You
Yeah.
can erase it, because I don't like it on
Okay.
everybody's computer.
All right, but the payroll, we have
Payroll
for
is what we need to know.
$1,709.55. Was that one sent out to us as well?
No,
Because I did not see that one. Okay, fine.
no, most payroll I don't send out. If you got one, it was by accident.
Okay. Okay, any questions on that, on the payroll?
No.
No? I will ask for a motion to approve the payroll.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, I need a second.
Second.
Rick? Okay, Rich seconds. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, 4 ayes, thank you. And the payroll for May has been approved. And we still have payroll taxes for May, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And those were paid in June.
Okay. All right, that was a 183 or 63.
No, 163.
163.67 for this is small. And, okay, I need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Thank
payroll
you.
taxes for May.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Sam takes a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All right, thank you very much, and these payroll taxes have been approved. Okay, let us, oh, no, these are just my copies, here we go. This is what John is sending to me. Oops. Oh, sorry.
Rich, keep those copies on the end.
Okay.
You
No,
just-
I'm not, I haven't signed them, so they're giving.
Oh,
them
they
back.
have to bring
I
it
need to sign
back?
them.
Okay.
They're passing them back to me.
So
Okay.
that's all I have as far as
That was plenty, so hopefully we can get the other one. If you could please get us those, the ones that were mixed up to us early in the month, that way we'll be all ready to go and we'll be able to vote next month easily, okay?
just trust me.
It'll just be
No.
easier.
Pardon?
It'll just be easier if we get the old
Yes.
ones figured
It's
out.
easier
Get
to
them all
do it
taken
month by month instead of keep postponing it,
Well,
because
right.
Exactly.
that also upsets the computer.
Right, Joan, that's exactly, but if we can get these, the ones that are missing now are not correct, let's get those early. And then you can work on the old, the new ones that are coming up. Okay, let us move on.
No, I have another question.
Oh, you said that was all you had, okay.
All I have as far as financial. I
One.
want to know when we're going to get the signboard for out in front of this
Okay.
office up.
Well, last time this
I
came
don't
up,
know how much you guys like it. but
Joan, you
look
said you
at
had somebody that could do it.
Yeah,
And I
should I
specifically
get
asked you
somebody
for
to-
a quote. You wrote me and said you had someone that could do it.
Right, you want me to get a quote? I thought you were going to do it, somebody else was
Well,
going to do
you
it.
said you had somebody that could do it. I asked for a quote, and I never heard back from you.
Because I evidently misunderstood what you wrote me in the email. Because I had understood that somebody else was going to do it from the town.
Well, that was not discussed in the email.
Okay,
All right, so should we just talk about that in unfinished business at the bottom? Or miscellaneous?
Sure.
Okay, let's bring that to unfinished business and then we can, although we've already approved, I'm going to stick that in under unfinished business, sign. All right, thank you very much. Okay, John, is that it then for
Yes.
other stuff? Okay, we're moving on to departmental reports. Police Chief Mark Swistek, please.
Good evening, everyone. For the month of May, the Long Beach Police Department responded to 447 calls for service when compared to 503 in the previous year, for a decrease of 56 calls. During the month of May, 21 incident reports were documented and a total of 19 individuals were arrested. Earlier today, we held a meeting discussing the July 4th festivities coming up. Since it falls on a Friday this year, we're going to start extra patrols the night before on July 3rd. So we specifically talked about the town of Michiana Shores that will have extra patrols on through the 3rd through the 6th, so all the way through Sunday. I would encourage you, if you get any calls or complaints from residents, please have them call our direct line, reach out to us immediately. Sometimes the complaints around that time roll in a day or two later. I'd like to address them as they occur, especially loud noise, fireworks, anything like that. And then right before the holiday, if you guys have any concerns you want to share with me, please do, because we'll be meeting right before the holiday, and I'd like to share it with our staff to do the best we can for you.
Okay,
All right,
great,
thank you
thanks.
very much. Awesome, thank you. Okay. There was a report from Gary Bendix. Can somebody read it? If you've got it on your computer, can somebody read it to us?
Did you send it or did you?
I sent it, I forwarded it to you. I thought we didn't get it. Turns out I forwarded it when I got it.
It was fairly short.
Pardon?
It was
I
short.
got it.
Since we're recording, we might as well add something on.
Fire Department activity report for the month of May 2025. 118.49 hours were spent during the month by your firefighters, either on calls for attention, training at home and away, meetings at home and away, and public relations or equipment maintenance. There were 4 meetings. There were 15 calls for attention, and first responder calls, there was 1. In Michiana Shores, there were 2 first responder calls in Michiana, Michigan. There were 3 fire calls in Dillon Beach, and mutual aid, there were 2 first responders and 7 fire participants. Special notes, pancake breakfast in May was a great success. Thanks to all that attended and donated. Our next breakfast will be October 12th, 2025.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to Building Commissioner Brian. Please stand up and get closer to the mics that are just so, there's one right here in front of Sam and Ralph, right in front of Ralph's computer.
I have a report here for June 10th. So we'll just pass it down. We've had 2 building permits issued. 3851 Oakside and 110 Sunset Trail. Pending applications, we have an application for 3621 Pontchartrain, the construction of a wood carport. The owner presently left town for a couple of weeks due to a family illness, but I will be in touch with him when he comes back. The other issue is 208 Sunset Trail, where they want to take down the existing house and construct a new house and pool. However, it's been determined that it's on a non-conforming lot, so we have to direct them to a BZA hearing. For code enforcement activities, at 424 Groveland, I had an investigation into the wood cutting activity. I was there on June 6th, and the process of clearing the wood from the property is underway. So.
All right, thank you. Any questions from Brian?
No, thanks, Brian.
Okay, thank you. All right. We move on to, is there anything, did Gene submit anything for park board? Do we know? No. Okay. Road commissioner.
Total work the past month was 42 hours, consisted of a lot of different things. had to dig out the drain in front of the building, which was a real nice mess. Get the decals on the trucks, get them cleaned up. The tractor developed a hydraulic leak on the mower. Scadia came today and replaced the line that was leaking, so hopefully we'll be back to mowing.
Okay.
But other than that, that's about it.
Okay, thank you very much. Did anybody get anything from Advisory Plan Commission Isaac Seckel? Okay. No, and Brian actually told us that all the news from the Plan Commission, right? Pretty much?
I just want to add that as part of the approval of 208 Sunset, they had submitted the first ever tree permit that the town has created. They're going to they're proposing to tear down the existing structure, and they're going to remove 5 trees on the property. They are going to replace them with 5 other trees, not of the same variety. They're removing oaks and they're going to replace with redbuds. And I made it an appeal to them to consider replacing them with hardwood trees that will replace what they're taking down, which are 50 to 150-year-old trees.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll consider that. I think perhaps at some point the council might want to take up whether or not we strengthen the replacement requirement. If you replace a hardwood tree, that you have to replace it with a like tree. If you replace an oak, you replace it with an oak. It's something for discussion.
Okay.
Then one last thing, Kara Scholler took on the empty role vacated by Chris Wolf, and was her first meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Okay. There's nothing from the flood plan administrator. Nothing from the BZA, except that they did approve the petition for the building that's on, what we just got from Brian.
3851.
Yes, 3851. They can proceed with their construction. Okay, let's go on. White Ditch Drainage Board, there's nothing new to report except that certified letters have been mailed out to all residents who are on the ditch and who needed to be informed about any kind of work that needed to be done with regards to removing trees, sheds, fences, and so forth. So those were mailed out, I believe, he said last week on Friday?
On Friday.
On Friday.
Probably not received yet. But
Yeah, we did receive ours. I don't know about the others, we got ours. Anyway, but that letter was, and that was it for, for the drainage board today.
Will they share with you guys whether or not they get returned for bad address or return mail or not
Well, I'm sure
accept?
they'll reach out, they'll find something, so,
I just,
we'll follow up with that at the next meeting, but there won't be any meeting in July, it'll only be in August, but I can check in with John South to find out if he gets anything back. Website, White Ditch, okay, give you that, Samantha Arnold with the website, nothing, Samantha submitted, the report via the computer, so if you had a chance to take a look at it, Joan, I'm sure you got one too. You were included on those, pardon?
I probably did in the
Yeah,
file.
okay, all right. Okay, and then with regards to NERC, there was a very lengthy meeting that took place the last time, that was in May, and that was due to the organization having to actually sort of reconfigure and rewrite various documents so that they would adhere to what is currently coming down from the federal government with regards to our environmental issues and how things can be labeled and named and how they cannot. So that was a huge job and a very emotional meeting, because I have to tell you, I was really surprised on how many of the commissioners there were extremely upset about lack of care of what is taking place in the environment. So, and how we have to play games with the words. So I don't mind saying that publicly because it's something that bothers me as well. So anyway, but that was it was a big issue there. Unfinished business, codification of the town code to bring it up to date. I don't think we have any other news, from Samantha on that.
Samantha sent out an email to 20-ish
Right, oh, yes.
town residents asking if anyone would be willing to be on the committee that she's setting up for this purpose.
Yes, okay. That's true, I forgot about that, because I saw one question. Okay, to ask for volunteers, okay, to be on that. All right, this is the spot where we can add our signboard. So, anything to discuss more about the signboard? Now, if, the way I understand it, there are several alternatives to do it. Joan said she knows someone who might be able to do it, but we need to get an estimate from them, and then did you have any idea of doing it with someone else, or what's going on with that?
Well, it's been talked about a little bit between Rich and myself a while back about putting it in. I did verify with Gary where it could go if we put it in.
Okay,
But it's a pretty big item. It's going to require at least 3, maybe 4 people.
okay. So what are our next steps going to be then on that? Joan, will you be able to ask?
If it's gonna take 3 or 4 people, I may not be get 3 or 4 people to do it.
I mean, I can't pick the thing up. It's going to take at least 3 people to
But
move it
if
around.
there's some people in the community that can help you guys do it, can do it.
Okay.
All right, so we leave it now still in your hands, Ralph, is that okay?
Sure.
All right, okay, so we're gonna leave that in Ralph's hands to try to coordinate a group to do something. Thank you very much, Ralph. All right, new business, review of potential nuisance violations throughout the town. Sam?
Earlier in the, I guess, last month, we had the opportunity to drive the town and review, we being Dinah and I, and we compiled a list of properties that have potential to be considered a nuisance. I'm not saying that Dinah and I are saying 100% sure on any of these. I don't want to bring up the property address or the property owner, but I would like to go through quickly just to kind of categorize some and that we can work together on determining whether or not those categories are something we should pursue, and if we do pursue it, is it an official all full nuisance violation letter, or is it just something, hey, it's come to our attention that you have not cut your grass in a year. I guess the first category would be like cars or boats or other heavy equipment that are parked either in the front yard or visible from the street. Whether or not they're being used or not, I think there's some question as to how we pursue that. I've tried to, in the information that I compiled, and I did give Rich a copy of that for his review. I'd like to have input from all the council members on whether or not that's something we should pursue. The other common one is grass is overgrown and home is vacant. Fallen branches and logs in the yard that have been there for years. The one other one that we've kind of talked about as a group is fallen limbs and fallen trees and large piles of those. The more I thought about it is, and more driving around and walking around, there's an awful lot of trees that are down, and a lot of them on town properties as well. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to really kind of understand what our what our determination is for requiring an action to be taken, because if we do it for one, we should do it for everyone. So, some, like I said about the grass being cut, we noted that there were 2 pine trees that are growing, interfering with an intersection. Those types of things, I think, are fairly straightforward, that we should be doing something, or people that have piled up cut fallen limbs in front of their residence, expecting that the town is going to pick it up when it's not going to happen. I would advocate that we review this list and take action right away, write letters, draft a letter to say, you know, we'll give you to whatever date in the future to have this removed or this cured in your yard. Otherwise, we may pursue a nuisance violation. And I can update this spreadsheet and kind of highlight those or separate those into a different category. And then the others, I would just expect, you know, at some point, get a quorum together as far as who do we want to pursue. If there are any on this list that rise to a level of nuisance, we don't immediately go after people for nuisance violations. We try to help them understand what we're talking about and point to the area within the town code that prohibits what we're talking about, and give them an opportunity, and I think the town opportunity to fix the situation. I think we've been more than reasonable with people that we've approached on those.
I think that's a good plan, Sam, and we can certainly discuss it amongst ourselves. I think having the group together to discuss it is fine. We don't need a public meeting to do that, because we're not going to be making decisions, per se. The only one on the list that I have a real concern about is, it's on the corner of Michiana and I forget the road, right at the stop sign. I go that way all the time, and those 2 trees block people coming down the hill on Michiana. It is a hazard, and it has been for years.
Is that shadow or?
Yeah, I think it's,
It is shadow,
Yeah.
not angle. Angle is
Or-
shadow.
no, it's not angled.
No,
It's-
then it's shadow, then it is where shadow comes up.
And, yeah, I know it's going to be a tough one, because they're both pretty good sized
Yeah.
bush trees.
Yeah.
But you cannot see people coming down the hill.
Yeah.
Right, and that's a state law too, it's not just ours, it's a state law, that they have to be removed at corners to provide visibility, so. And we have a code we've written within the town newsletters and online about cleaning up, and that's been done every year. And I guess we'll have to repeat that anyway, but I think some of these deserve to get a letter, address
So
specifically.
that's the
to
one I
them.
would get a letter to right away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because we have to give them fair warning. I don't know what
Right.
that is, 30 days or 60 days, but, and I'm sure Bob knows the one we're talking about, but,
I've trimmed it, and they've been talked to about convicted trim also.
Well, but in the past as well, when we have sent out notices, we tell people that if you do not take care of it, well, then the town will take care of it and will bill you, for the work. And I don't know how, we have said that, and it's been in newsletters and, I believe, and in notices, so that we'd have to proceed with that kind of a thing. Any comments on that, Brad?
Yeah, that's pretty common practice for municipalities to do maintenance, to do either meetings, or if it's a lot of work, maybe more formal action to judgment against the property.
Yeah.
When was the last time you trimmed that, like, out in the years?
2 years ago.
Yeah, and Bob did take off some of the branches, but the trees are there, and it's the trees that are completely like on the corner. So we're not talking about any 15-foot diameter there, it's like
Yeah, that
just trees.
goes beyond just, that's now a safety issue.
it absolutely is.
Yeah, okay. All right, so they need the first letter, 2 pine trees at that corner.
One other thing I could offer, and I don't know if this is something you want to do through code enforcement or law enforcement, but what other towns do, especially with abandoned vehicles, because you might need additional information on those, whether it's boat, car, or RV, whatever. A visit personal visit from code enforcement or, law enforcement, especially if they're unlicensed or untagged. It's a different situation if they're on private property than if they're on public road, obviously, but, finding out what their intent is with those vehicles, sometimes that gets them just to clean it up.
Yeah, I looked up the code on those, and, it's, one section says wrecked, junk, or abandoned. Those are difficult to discern,
Yeah.
but we specifically say that they have to be licensed.
Okay.
And you would have to physically go
And see it, yeah.
and check it out. The two that I know of don't look like they've been moved in,
Might have
A few.
might have a license plate on it, but it might say 19.
so, yeah, I think that's the approach we'll have to go with, right?
And I would, as part of this exercise, I would like if Brian, as code enforcement officer, if you can, and I'll share the samples of the letters that we've used to generate, or the initial letter, contact letter for nuisance violations. And once we come up with a list of all this, we're going to have to pull all the language out of the code ordinances so that we can include it with that contact letter. So as we get clearer on where these are going to fall, if there are any, we would ask you to take a look at the code and make sure that we've got all the code, there's no conflicting language somewhere else. That might be problematic.
Okay. I make the suggestion to tag on with all of this, is we haven't had a newsletter out for a while now, since last fall. And I think it would be good for us to do a newsletter again. I mean, literally, one that would be published online, and then another one that would be sent out to those who have not given us email addresses, because we've been winnowing down that number of letters that are sent out. So to send out something in the next couple of weeks that literally addresses, these issues too, to tell them that we are going to be taking steps in the next.
Well, I would say that this needs to be specific and not a newsletter that talks
Oh, no,
about
not
what we're
for
going to
those.
do all
No,
summer,
no.
but
You're right, you are right, but.
these are nuisance violations.
Absolutely, I'm not saying those, but I'm
Okay.
saying, but we need to send something out then and literally tell them to expect letters with regards to, those properties that have it, to know that they are going to be getting a letter. They may not think of themselves as it, but at least they will have been notified that they're getting it, so. And I think it's worthwhile telling the residents anyway, because although we didn't get a super response, the last time we did that, I did get people who were calling right away and had even asked me to come by their home to let me know, so that I would look at them and let them know whether or not this was enough, cutting of the branches, or do you want me to do more? Because they wanted to do it themselves. So, and some ran out and they cut overhead branches. Some did, the ones that are close to the road. So it actually did net a positive, response. So anyway, that might be something to to address in a newsletter. Anything else on this, Sam, then? So if you're gonna start getting that started and stuff, that's gonna be great. And then for everybody who's out there, this is our town together, so let's all try to make sure that we're doing, everything we can to clean it up. Not just honk the horn and wave at those who are working and say thanks, but to actually participate. Anyway, let us move on. Oh, here we go. I have a form here. Brad, did you see that online, the one that I made? I got this from Ralph, who probably got it, worked on it with Deb. Pass this over to Rich, please. I don't know if you got one of these to look at. Joan, do you want to see this? This is just a proposed. And what I would like to do is, if everybody would agree that this is okay, I would like to put this into place, like now, soon, because we do have one homeowner who is, wanting to rent their primary residence and is willing to register, but is waiting for a form, and we didn't have one yet. So I wanted to make sure we got one ready to go. So just take a glance. I don't know if you took a look at it. And, I know Ralph knows what it's like. Sam, did you get a chance to look at it? Okay, any comments, Brad, from you?
Just one typo, I think, in the first edition, where it says the property owner or local agent must be either aware of, adhere to.
Oh, okay, must be aware of, okay.
Do we have to
Okay.
register with the state for tax purposes? Payment of,
Property taxes, well, the county.
no, I mean for the,
For business,
an
because they're renting it
Airbnb.
as business.
Yeah, if they're registered as a business, yeah.
it's something that we can ask them to do? You figure? Okay. Well, then I would add that to that too, okay?
Well, the language will be complicated, because you don't have, I mean, there's many outlets besides Airbnb.
Right.
So you can't be too specific.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people rent with an individual contract or even no contract.
That's true, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
while
have the tax.
it's key to the county that they're getting their taxes,
Yeah.
but it's a matter of them being aware of it. We can't police it, I guess is what I'm saying. So just be a little careful about putting too much of that into
Okay,
this.
all right, well, that's why I'm not gonna change anything without a
If you wanted to
recommendation.
make that sort of requirement, what you would simply say is, not generically, but say that they're required to properly register with all taxes as.
Yeah, we can make them aware of it.
Okay.
Maybe that's that kind of language.
Okay, all right, we'll work on a sentence for that. And then I just added one more down there towards the bottom that says future changes to the registration policy might be made. I mean, is that worth saying, or, can be made that somebody says, well, no,
No, I don't think it's necessary
Okay.
because that applies to all of our documents.
okay. But we say them on some of those documents.
Well, not on the.
I don't know if it's necessary.
It's not on the
That's why
building
I'm
permit,
asking.
and it's
Okay.
not on the
Yeah.
short-term rental
I
permit.
think it's implied.
Okay, all right, then we don't need that. Okay, very good. Okay. Now, when I did speak with, and I don't remember if I already mentioned that last month or not, but when I spoke with the assessor's office, when there was a question, they had contacted me. They said if we are concerned about residents who are claiming that they are permanent residents here and permanent residents elsewhere, that the auditor will do investigations, but we have to provide them with names and addresses. And they will do investigations, at least that's what, she assured me of. So just,
Auditor's been cracking down on homestead violations. And it gets tricky when people own multiple properties. It's easy if somebody owns two properties, where do they spend the majority of the time? If somebody owns 3 or 4 properties in different states, what is their homestead?
yeah,
What do you think?
So Dinah, that's good information for the BZA because they're the first people that have to accept
right.
the application process.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to make sure that Matt is aware that that is available to them.
To them, yeah. So that's for those who are applying for the short-term rentals as regular, residents, because otherwise people don't go to you, So, for those kind of things. So I think we all need to know that, and if we are suspecting something, then, I think it's worth, sending it on to
Yeah.
to the auditor. So, and then if you don't feel like doing it, let me know, and I will tell them for conversations. So anyway,
So the process would be, once this is document's done, they would work with Brian to build information and submit the registration form to
yeah,
him.
I think that would make sense,
And it
rather than
keeps
the
them
town doing
updated.
something.
Okay, good. I like that.
All right,
Can we
okay.
add these to the total so that we hit our 25 quicker?
Those are actually permits.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, thank you very much, for that. Now, let's see, Brad, anything else you'd like to add for us?
I'll just make a point on what we just talked about with the nuisance violations. So the more you do, the more notices, whether it's a newsletter, or just put people on general notice, but the specific notices that you send out, one, that makes my job easier when we ever get to a nuisance claim or a nuisance violation, but it makes it better also, a cleaner record to show that you're not just selectively enforcing.
Yes.
Because that comes up. Well, you're coming after me, but my neighbor down the road has got this issue, we've never done anything. Well, yeah, we have, here's the steps we've taken. So,
Okay.
so that helps. And that tails into specifically, I can give you an update on 2 of the files. Sam attended court with me after your last meeting. They were set out now for permanent full hearing in September, but the idea that both of those properties are really addressed or soon to be finished. The Banks property, I think, is that the one on Pontchartrain?
Correct.
Permit. So he's out of town, but the offending structure has been removed. What remains of that case is there was a citation that was issued. And then obviously, since we have a final nuisance violation, there are costs and attorney fees as well. So what I would suggest is I approach him with the one citation that Deb issued. plus the costs and attorney fees, say that's his fine that he's got to pay, and then it'll be resolved. If the number comes back differently, then that'll bring it to the board. But that's where that is. And then with the Eureka property, they are making significant progress, I understand, but there's still work to be done. Sam offered again assistance from the town, pride or whatever. They're not interested in that, but there may be an avenue through third parties in the town that may be more receptive of receiving their help. Just get them across the finish line. So the September date is what the court gave us. Obviously, it feels like it's a long way away, but it's probably like 2-3 meetings, something
Yeah, right.
like that. But hopefully both of those are resolved well ahead of that.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Brad? Are we good? Okay, then let's move on to miscellaneous business. Is there anything else you want to add? Anybody? No? Any communications received by anyone?
I've turned all the ones I have over to you.
Okay, yes. Okay, so nothing else except that I actually reached out again to to NIPSCO. I have contacted them. I don't remember the exact date. I didn't bring that with me here. But I was told that I should hear something within like 10 business days. I waited 15 business days and then contacted them. And this is with regards to the tree that is north of 210 El Portal, the one that's
So
really
good.
leaning and it's getting closer to those wires. So, so that more notes were made, and I was told again that I should expect some kind of a contact between 5 and 10 days. So far, I have not gotten it. It would be 5 business days maybe by now since we spoke. And so we'll give it a few more time, and then I will contact them all over again. And they keep, adding the comments onto this. And then I'm trying to be very nice with the people that I'm talking to. But I said, when it falls down, I said one of the things we'll publish in the town newsletter is that we contacted NIPSCO so many times, and these are the dates, that we spoke with you. So anyway, but we'll see if anybody does anything with regards to that. I think you're all aware of it, the tree farther north. Okay, so that was my kind of communication, or, that I had with them. Public comments? No? Council comments? Nope. Rich, please.
Bob, I'm sure you've noticed the vines are starting to take over some of our stop signs and other kinds of signs. You got plans to...
Which ones they are? Which ones they are?
I don't, Brookside and Oakdale, that one's starting to creep around the sign, but I'll try to make a list.
Okay. All
I'll
right.
start going again either this week or next week.
Okay. All right, so if there are no, thank you, Rich. Any other comments, then I will call for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All right, thank you, Ralph. We are going to adjourn our meeting. It is now 8:12 p.m. Thank you very much, everyone.